Welcome back, everybody. So today I finally got to see Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2, which came out this last week on Thanksgiving, and I was, of course, busy. And I did see Creed 2 before this because I thought I'd rather see that, even though I did really want to see Ralph Breaks the Internet. So it just took me a while to watch this movie, but I really wanted to see this. And honestly, coming out of Ralph Breaks the Internet, I thought that this was really a fantastic sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. I really enjoyed the first Wreck-It Ralph, and I thought it was fun. I thought it really did have a lot of heart to it, and I thought that the tropes that they did with how Ralph is like this bad guy who wants to be good, like they did a good job of that. And John C. Reilly had such a great voice performance in Wreck-It Ralph, and I thought you really felt so much sympathy for him. And I really liked Vanellope, Sarah Silverman's character from the first one. And I liked all the characters, honestly, from the first movie. But watching the second movie, this one is an interesting sequel because it changes where Ralph and Vanellope go to the internet for reasons. And at the arcade, this guy finally puts in Wi-Fi, puts in a router, and they go to the internet, and they go all around the internet trying to find certain item. I won't really ruin, I'll just keep it spoiler free, but like they're trying to find something. And they go to the internet and meet all this colorful cast of characters, again, like the last one. I love that they meet this character, I'm blanking on her name now, that Gal Gadot plays, who plays in this version of kind of Fortnite mixed with like Grand Theft Auto online, where like she's like the head person of the game, and she's a really good character in this movie. Gal Gadot is really good, and this is her first voice performance that I've seen her in, and I think she actually really gives off a great voice performance. I think she's awesome, and I thought them going like all these people that they meet, like Gal Gadot, or with this one character who's kind of like the internet equivalent of a spam character, like a spam person who like says like, you won't believe this happened, blah blah blah, like where it's trying to get you to click on the ad. There's this little green spam character that like kind of Ralph becomes friends with, and like they do a good job of having all these different new characters be fun and entertaining. And I love the fact that even though this is so gimmicky, this is extremely gimmicky and extremely like, oh, look at this, we're just promoting our stuff. Since this is a Disney movie, it's so interesting, that like they go into the internet and they go into Oh My Disney, which is apparently a like website like for kids like to do quizzes and stuff, which I have not actually done. I just never have used Oh My Disney, even though I love Disney, but even though it's so gimmicky, I love the fact that there's things with like the Disney princesses in this movie that was really fun and really entertaining. I thought that it was so cool that they brought back every single actress, except for Aurora, because that woman is still alive, but she's like 90. So like they wouldn't have brought her back to have her voice because she's 90 years old, or whatever age she is. But I love the fact that they brought back every performer from each of the Disney princesses and put them in this movie. And honestly, they are one of the biggest pulls of this movie in terms of entertainment. And they're not even in the movie that much. But from the trailers, you saw where like Vanellope goes into there and talks to them, and they do that trope that they've done the last like 5 or 6 years with Disney, where like, or I guess the last like 10 years, because Princess and the Frog came out in 2009. Starting with that, they've been doing all these tropes, like doing jokes with these tropes that these Disney princesses have had for years, where like they need a man to save them, or since Princess and the Frog, they have gone independent, and they do a lot of funny jokes in this movie with them. I love the fact that these characters kind of play with themselves and go like to Vanellope like, do people also assume you need a big strong man to save you? And then Vanellope's like, yeah, what's up with that? And then they're like, she is a princess. And like all those scenes are really funny with them. They're actually genuinely hilarious. There's a payoff scene with them that's awesome at the end, so I won't spoil it, but there's a great payoff scene with those characters. Like, it's so funny to see them in this movie and to see them have such great humor, and I really enjoyed them a lot. And I really enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed all the side characters that they got, even though they're gimmicky like the Disney princesses, but they were really genuinely funny. And Vanellope going into seeing all these Disney properties, yeah, is extremely gimmicky, and they're just promoting their products, but I thought it was really fun, and I really loved that as well. But I liked all the side characters, even if they're old or new. And I liked how... Oh, and I also liked Taraji B. Henson as this person who kind of leads Ralph on to like get more likes for reasons in this movie, like online. Like he makes literal, like, I don't know if they're vines. What are they called that they do? Like where they do... You can see I'm not very fluent in internet memes, but like I think it's something where like... I think it's just called a vine that Ralph is doing. Like he's doing a vine and like it's becoming popular, and he's got to do it for reasons in the movie. But yeah, it's really fun with her too. Taraji B. Henson was great as well, and I thought that the movie overall was just incredibly entertaining. And I really like the whole movie. I didn't even like stutter at all, like looking at my phone or thinking about anything else. I just was really fixated on the movie because I thought it was just so fun. Like, it was such a fun movie where these characters are so likable. Again, John C. Reilly is, again, really a likable character. Sarah Silverman is a really likable character again, too. Like, I like the fact that these two characters grow and evolve again from the first one. And even though it's quote-unquote a kid's movie, it's more sophisticated than a typical kid's movie where, like, these characters are really fun. They've got clever jokes. They've got really funny banter towards each other. And I think that they both evolved from the last one. And I really like the ending, which I won't spoil, but the ending did something where I thought they did something different, where it's like I didn't expect this route to go with this movie. And this, I don't think this is a spoiler, but I love the fact that there is no real antagonist in this movie. I think that is really cool. I think that you don't have to have an antagonist in a movie. Like, I think that's, again, a thing that has been done before, but they do it really well in this movie, where it's not even about, like, there's not even an antagonist in the movie. It's just about Ralph and Vanellope and their friendship and them going through the internet, meeting all these colorful characters with great voice performances like the last one. And I just love how there's no antagonist. It's just literally, like, you'll have to see for yourself to understand, but it's like there's no full, like, antagonist. It's just them evolving as characters. So I really enjoyed that as well. And I just enjoyed the fun factor of this movie. I thought this movie was really, really, really awesome, honestly. It surprised me genuinely because I did really like the first one, but I love this one more. I think this is a great sequel. I think it's a great Disney sequel because most of the Disney sequels went direct-to-video. Even though there are a couple shining ones in those direct-to-video movies, they only have had like 3 or 4 actual theatrical sequels to the Disney canon, which is Rescuers Down Under, Fantasia 2000, Winnie the Pooh 2011, and I think that just this one. So they literally have only had a couple theatrical sequels, and I love the fact that they're doing that. Like, they don't have to do what they did in the 2000s, where like they put them direct to video, and a lot of them are pretty bad because they're direct to video, made from people who weren't theatrical, like directors or writers or anything. So like, I'm glad that they went back to this route of like, hopefully they're going to keep doing sequels theatrically, but they're good. They're not like the Disney direct to video sequels, but because we've got a Frozen 2 coming out as well, so I thought that we're going to get more sequels. It just, hopefully they're great. Like, honestly, like the sequels we got theatrically, they're just not the same as the direct-to-video sequel. So that's cool. We finally got a brand new Disney sequel that was theatrically released, and it felt just as legitimate as the first one, like the first Wreck-It Ralph. I think this is honestly better. Like, I feel like this is better, but I feel like it's going to be maybe more dated because there are random things in this movie that you will probably not see in 10 years. Like, you won't really see... Maybe you'll see cat videos in the next 10 years, but I don't know. Like, I feel like stuff like that might just go away. So, but to be fair, arcades in the first movie, people would have thought those would have went away and been forgotten by time, but those are still memorable. So, And so I feel like, I don't know, anything's possible. So we'll see. But overall, I really did love this movie. I really did love the performances. I loved all the new characters. I thought they were all fun, all fascinating. Even the ones that have been made before and other things, like the Disney princesses, were really genuinely funny. But then other voice actors with their new characters, Gal Gadot and Taraji P. Henson, are really good. Alan Tudyk plays this character in the movie as well, which is awesome, and he's really great in the movie too. He's like the question, or he's like the search bar character, where like he's trying to figure out what you're saying, like a search bar does, and he's really awesome too. So like I said, everything about this movie is awesome. The performances, the characters, visually it's just incredible, animation like usual. I loved everything about it. I loved how it didn't have an antagonist either. I thought that that was a very smart choice and a very different and unique take. And the ending was very different. And I thought it worked very well. So overall, this is honestly in one of my favorite movies of the year. It's not like the top movie of the year, but it's one of my favorites. I am surprised how much legitimate fun I had at this movie. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me what you think down below of Ralph Breaks the Internet, because I really dug it. I thought it was a really, really fun, great sequel. So thank you guys so much for watching, and talk to you next time.